goods to, we can transport to other parts of the country.
And what are some of Alice's current economic strong suits?
Well, we have a good workforce. We have a workforce that's primarily specialized in oil field. Oil field has been one of the biggest things that Alice has had over the past 30, 40 years. We feel that there's opportunity with our workforce and the individuals that we have there to be able to transition into other types of work as well. If people that have been in this area, in the South Texas area, know that sometimes the oil industry can get pretty volatile. You have some really good points where you're doing really well, and then all of a sudden, everything kind of falls out.
It can get fickle.
It can get very fickle. And it all depends on what happens in different parts of the country. We have no control over that. And let me give you an example. If the price of oil goes down in the Middle East, that affects us. If a plant goes down where they're not producing enough oil or gas, that affects us. So that's a hard industry to be in. We've loved the fact, though, that we've been able to keep people working. It's really developed Alice into what it is today. But we're looking at it from a different standpoint. We're looking at it from, we need to diversify Alice and maybe go into something that is not as fickle and something that's a little bit more dependent that we can kind of hang our hats on.
What are some of your homegrown industries?
We have, the biggest industry we have are some of the, what we call Endyne. It's a large company that supplies different parts to different countries, to different parts of the world, countries. In the industry, well, oil field related, right? Different types of compressors, different types of machinery, things of that nature, right? That is probably some of the strong things that we have in our community.
Now, you've got a pretty booming retail sector along 281, right?
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, the retail industry has been always strong. People got to eat. You know, people want places to go to. Our Highway 44 is a pretty busy area in downtown Alice. So we're real pleased with that.
Now, what are some of the weaknesses that you and your board are going to try and help build upon?
Well, right now we're trying to develop a strategic plan on what is it that we can capitalize on to see what we can bring. So we realize that we're not going to go try to get an Amazon, because that's a difficult thing. It's going to cost you a lot of money to bring an Amazon. I'd love to have Amazon. Those type of industries are really great. But what we're looking at right now is a lot from the medical sector. We recently got a company into town that has about a $1.7 million payroll, and it's in the medical industry, where we feel that because of our locality and where we're at, that we can provide maybe a regional training center to be able to expand and to transition some of our workforce into that area. We have a lot of employees that are wanting to maybe graduate or transition into that. So we're trying to come up with a plan on how do we get our workforce to be able to go into the different fields that apply for South Texas. And when we look at what we do for Alice, we look at a region. You know, we have a strong economy in Corpus Christi. You look at some of the things that are going on in the Sandpat area and some of the monies that are available there. We see that as opportunities, Will. We see that as a place to be where if we train our people and what they need in that specific skill set, we think that we